Alright guys, this is going to be my initial day one clear of Dark Anima. Overall, I'm not going to super kill myself trying hard on this one because I missed on Tyvis. I don't have a copy of Tyvis's STMR for all my DPS, which means there is no way in the world I can compete with people that do have a copy of Tyvis's STMR for all their damage dealers. So I'll just do a whatever clear and be done with it. It's impossible to try hard at the top ranks if you don't have the best gear, which I don't. So here's the team we're going to use. We're going to go for a turn 4 clear, and we'll just give it a go. I'll show you the gear and all, and then afterwards. And then, I might optimize this slightly later in the week or something, but yeah, big sad face. Do what I can. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, just to make the boss take a tiny bit less damage, we're going to use Sephiroth to reflect himself. Then Nicole will bounce Protect onto the boss. This is super optional if you don't feel like doing this. I'm sure you don't need to, but I do it just for the extra safety. We're going to go ahead and use Tifa to stack her LB. We'll use Carton to stack his shifted LB for the modifier boost. Auron on this first turn can just guard, and Cacteria is going to go to the base form, and Divine Castle's Protection for the light resist. Currently, passive provoking is Nicole. Okay. Wait for the auto casting to finish. Nicole is going to shift this turn and summon Leviathan for the field. Auron is going to go use his LB for the big, what's it called? The big wind imperil. Sephiroth will stack his shifted LB, go to the base form with Tifa, and use her Magnus. Carton will go to the base form and just do Rallying Cry to make sure that Cacteria fills her LB the rest of the way, which she did. Alright, is everyone finished on this turn? They are. So Cacteria is now going to Million Needles. That's a perfect dispel. That's going to go ahead and get rid of that Protect gut we put on the boss. And then we're going to Spirit and Defense 89%. Yeah, so there you go. The Protect and Shell are now gone for the damage we had to deal. So yeah, that's optional. You don't have to do the Reflected Protect thing. That is super not that important. But, we did it. Alright, so Sephiroth, back to the base form this turn. We're going to double Purging and Fallen. That's going to Dark Imperil the boss. Tifa will Tyvis STMR. My only copy is going to go to her. Auron is going to Magnus Cacteria to the base form. She's going to do her LB for the big Fist Imperil. Carton is going to do Wailing Claw. That's an AoE imbue. And we're going to Shifted LB on Nicole for the 35%, or the 45% water amp, and then the 350% stat buff. Now my EX2 Auron's SLB is good to go. We're going to do that on Auron. And for this, I'll post a turn chart in the comments. There we go. Sephiroth, Shifted LB. Tifa, Shifted LB. Cacteria is going to shift, and we're going to use Blue Wave because it's single target, and I don't want to risk breaking it. Her damage is garbage anyway, so whatever. You could do her regular chains, but it might break, so I'm not going to risk it. Feral Frenzy, and then Nicole is going to triple Crashing Tides. Confirm the boss has all the debuffs. Breaks. Katana Imperil, Fist Imperil. Yep, we look good to go. Okay, so we're going to send Auron first, and he is rather slow, so we're going to let him wait a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and chain the rest. And we're looking for a 94-point chain. We got it. How much damage did we deal? $5.5 billion. I am now going to retreat because I don't want to lock in the score because I want to keep the boss at 1 energy cost so I can practice with him. So this team did 5.5 billion. There we go. So I'll show the team and I'll post the turn chart and all in the comments, and then later in the week, maybe next week after maintenance, We get new content. We might get new units, new buffs, new gear. I might change my team. I'll eventually lock in a clear, but this one does approximately in the average of 5.5 billion, as we saw. Yeah, so team was the boss on, let me look at my AI chart real quick. Every single turn, the boss does a single target light attack that is physical. It's also a light damage over time, which cannot be avoided. On turns 2, and you want to kill the boss by turn 4, otherwise he gets that mitigation buff, so all that really matters is every even turn he does AoE Banishka. This can be nethersighted or reflected if you really want to, but every third turn he does Light Wave or whatever it's called, which is also light magic and cannot be nethersighted. So you can nethersight on turn 2 if you don't want to use resist gear, or just resist it. Turn 3, you gotta either cover it or resist it or take the damage. And on turn 4, the boss gets mitigation. I think you can push a threshold on turn 4 and delay the mitigation by 1 turn, which would give you 5 turns to kill the boss. I'll be testing that later in the week. That's why I'm not killing the boss, so I can test him at 1 energy. So you might be able to get a 5-turn clear in, but we did a 4-turn clear. You also might be wondering, I didn't do a 100-point chain count score. You are correct. I only got 94 out of 100 for the chaining. So I would lose a tiny amount of score for that, but you're not perfect scoring anyway. So I figured, whatever, I'll lose like 500 points for not chaining to 100, and I might figure out a way to chain to 100 on a re-clear later in the week. Anyway, let's show the team. So turn 1, because Carton has Passive Provoke, we gave Nicole Passive Provoke in the base form, because Carton is not evading or anything. So there is Nicole's gear. The whole team has 30 or better light resist in the forms that are active on turns 2 and 3. Shift form, he was technically geared for damage. He probably did 100,000, if that. So it doesn't really matter. But again, there's no reason not to. So why not? Carton in the base form, just use 30 or better light resist. Shift form, pure damage. He's only shifted on turn 1. In turn 1, the boss does not do any AoE, so you don't need any resist. Just keep in mind, he does have natural passive provoke while shifted, so someone else has to be provoking for him. He's got 300 Reaper and 175 Fairy, double hand build. Cacteria is our provoker in the base form for turns 3. Yeah, turn 3. Here's the build, a little bit of LB fill, Esper fill, etc. Shift form, I mean, geared for damage, but we used Blue Wave, so she did, like, I don't know, 1,000 damage. But she is geared for it. There we go. Avalanche Tifa, base form, Tyvus' Spirit, and then a little bit of light resist. Shift form, damage build, because of Tyvus' STMR, she did the majority of the damage in this fight. 7772 attack power, maxed LB, maxed Reaper, and maxed Fairy. So she is literally maxed on everything, plus Tyvus' STMR, so she carried it. Sephiroth, base form, he's on Carbuncle, so he has enough resist naturally. Shift form, damage, he did the secondary damage in this fight. He is locked to Dark, which is unfortunate, but whatever. 300, 300, and 275, almost maxed on everything, he's pretty close. And then Auron has natural Fairy Killer, he's a little bit easier to gear for this. He's got 50 light resist from Noctis's STMR. Other than that, here's his build. Mine's only EX2. I don't have his card, so he is not at full potential, but he does decent damage here. Maxed LB, 275 Fairy, 225 Reaper. Okay, there's the clear, and hopefully you guys can do good. If you pulled lots of Tyvus copies, you can do better than me, and you can tell I am not at all irritated about my pulls. Kinda am. Anyway, there it is. Good luck. See you next time.